I'm back on the road. Hi, my name is Victor Bart and I'm now a man with a van. Yeah, this is not an Unimog. I have good news and I have, very sad news or bad news. The good news is I'm now heading to Abentueuer Allrad in Germany. I think it's the biggest overland show in Europe. And the very sad and bad news is my Unimog is broken again. On my last test drive, the first 150 kilometers were without any problems. It was running great and I was hoping to do like a 10-day trip with it, but it's not going to happen this year because my clutch and pressure plate are giving problems. So I need to repair my Unimog. And I don't want to talk about it. So what I did to go to Abentueuer Allrad is I rented this van. And I rented a Ford Transit camper van. It's like an hipster surf skate van. So for the next 7 days I will be a VanLifer and see if that is something I will do. So it's different than my Unimog. It's more silent in the cabin. I have airco now. I have cruise control. I have mirrors where I can really see behind me. I have more horsepower. I can drive faster. I can stand in the back. I can get easily in and out. I can sit with 3 people here in the front and sleep with 2 in the back. Yeah, this is still not an upgrade over an Unimog because an Unimog is just so much cooler than a van. I'm now heading to Arnhem to pick up a friend, Thijs. He will travel with me to Abentueuer Allrad and he will stay in his tent and we will cook out of this van and just have a nice time on Abentueuer Allrad and the awesome camping there with all kinds of vehicles from the simplest van or 4x4 to 8x8 monster trucks. I rented a legit VanLife van because it has plastic planks on the dashboard and here in the cup holder. So this is Thijs and he also has an Unimog.
Hi, I'm Thijs. I met Bart at the annual Unimog meeting and now we're gonna go to Abentueuer Allrad together in Germany. And this is my Unimog 404 with a turbo diesel engine.
And the nice detail is he bought it from a friend of mine.
It's a small world after all. Yeah.
He was describing his Unimog and I said, oh, that Unimog? And he said, yes. So here it is in parts. Why it's in parts?
Well, it started off with, as far as I understood, the previous owner had driven it across Africa and after that your friend I think bought it. And when I bought it off him, it needed a little bit of TLC, and I used it for one vacation I think, and I started noticing some engine issues, lack of power, the engine was cutting out, and after further investigation it turned out to be a fuel pump was completely worn out, and in order to remove the fuel pump I needed to remove the cabin because it's not an original cabin. And if you have the engine, the cabin removed and the engine removed, then I decided to also remove the gearbox because the gearbox was leaking oil everywhere out of every seal you can.
And you removed the axles and
I thought
you just started rebuilding the whole Unimog.
Yeah, so this is where we're at now. This is basically, you can't get more basic back to this. And so there's no timeline, there's no deadline for me to finish it. It's mainly hobby, and there's too many projects laying around. So we'll see when this one gets done. But it's really a lot of fun to work on these things. You basically you can't break anything because it's all built to last. So and it's very mechanical. It just remember the sequence how you took it apart, and then
Yeah,
I think it should be alright.
I took mine apart and did like 95% rebuilding out of my head. So if you just take your time taking it apart, and this one has a custom steering box without power steering, but with the joint here. So when you remove the cabin, you can easily take out the steering wheel, just like mine, and that saves a lot of time when building it. And the frame for the box is from a 404, and the Unimog of course also a 404 with a 406 cap. So yeah, just a little bit of Unimog in this video. And we both have an Unimog and both are not driving now.
No, and but as you said, with the whole pedal box, and it does make it a lot easier, and that's one of the things I'm changing now as well, because it had already been converted to 12 volt, but it was kind of a whole mesh together, integrated with the old wiring loom, and it was a big mess. So now I've got a modern fuse box, and we're gonna redo the complete wiring as well while I'm at it, and put it in a more convenient place with universal plugs, so you can easily take it out if I have to ever remove the box again, because now I spent 3 days marking all the wires before taking it out. So,
yeah, if you do a rebuild of your Unimog or just build a new wire loom, then you have new fuses, no army blackout wiring. It makes it much simpler, and
and the wiring is 50 years old, so you know, if you bend it a few times it will break. Yeah,
and it's pretty easy. It's just a switch, a connection, a fuse. It's just basic stuff, nothing super special. Only the brake lights and the turn lights are the same bulb, but you can also remove that function and run different rear lights. But let's go to Germany and find a camping tonight and do the VanLife thing.
Let's do some camping. Yes.
I think we need a bigger fan than this. Or should we take less stuff?
No, bigger fan.
Bigger fan. Or I think we need an Unimog.
Yeah, because we haven't brought enough beer yet, so we definitely need a bigger Unimog.
This is a Ford Transit van I rented, and it has a high roof, normal wheelbase, a lot of dents, and not sure how many horsepower, but it's a 6-speed and it drives. So let's go to Germany.
And we are on the way. Vacation has started.
Yeah, and we finally found a decent looking part of Germany, because the Autobahn is pretty boring normally.
We've got a view.
Yeah, we got a view here. And we are now driving for like 2.5 hours from the Netherlands. And we are now heading to a camping to stay the night and then do the VanLife thing. I'm only not sure what VanLifers do when they stop and don't make Instagram pictures.
I don't know. Make vegan food? I don't know. But we have beer and we have coffee, so yeah.
We will. Okay. This is really pretty with the village here. So this is probably the only part that we're gonna show of the Autobahn. Just the best part, because the rest is just really boring. We found a place to camp. It's now 9 o'clock. Thijs is setting up his tent, and we put a fan here behind the bush so nobody sees us, so we don't have to pay. But one of the people that work here said, oh, we can park here, you don't have to pay, we only have to drink a beer with him. He opened the showers and the toilets, so we have a free parking spot here in the nice hills of Germany. But I still hear the highway, so we are not that far from from civilization. So we're gonna set up camp, make some room in the camper, drink some beer, make some dinner and just go to sleep. So see you tomorrow. So we had a great night here on this spot. It's not an official camping place, so we don't gonna share the location. And the neighbor here in the rear, we drank beer with him and had some chicken from the barbecue and some food. It was a really nice night to just meet one of the locals that live here on this park. So we decided today to put the navigation system on avoid highways. It's like 150 kilometers to Bad Kissinger and we have the whole day to drive. So we just decided to see how the roads are here, and for now I really like the route and there's nobody around here, so we can just cruise on our own speed and just enjoy the view and the scenery and the part of Germany where probably not many people live. We found a very nice downhill road. It's like 13-40% hills. Only this camper van braking on the engine doesn't do much. So then the trick is like brake fast and short and then just control your speed. But don't put your feet on the brake too long, then your brakes will burn off. And it's now in second gear and doing 60 with almost 4,000 RPM. Unimog! Yay! We are now 25 kilometers off the campsite and Bad Kissinger. So we only drove through the back roads today and it was really lovely. I really liked driving the little roads. This part is a little bit boring, but a lot of hills, 12%, 13, 14%. So yeah, this area is pretty nice to drive around. We are almost at Abentueuer Allrad and we found the first overlander that also is heading to there. So I think we're just gonna follow him, but they put signs on where we need to go. So yeah, we are almost there and we don't know exactly how much further it is, but we will see. First entrance, they say further because it was full, so probably they have multiple entrances. And the truck camper that was in front of us is now behind us. So let's see how this goes. We are now in line of the ticket shop, but we are standing still. And behind us there's a super nice Volvo and a Land Rover, and we will see probably a lot of cool trucks here. So we arrived at campsite 2, so we're gonna search for a nice place. So we need to find some cool trucks where we can join together or where we can stay with. So some Germans here. Let's see what we have here. I see there an MAN Cat and an Unimog. So maybe we should be more on that side.
Go in between them.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
Oh yeah, nice Mercedes.
Mercedes.
On 1018. 1019 even. Caravans. Hey, what's that?
It's that looks like a 404.
Yeah. Should we join them? Then we can tell 404 stories and drink beer.
It doesn't. Seems there's a lot of space over there.
But I think you can also park here.
Yeah, but I'd rather park over there in the with a bit of shade with the tent and everything.
I think we're gonna just sneak it in by this truck if it fits. Or here.
Or here. Yeah, here is good because then I also have to. It's not really straight. It's like really not straight.
Doesn't matter. Maybe if. Am I doing it right? The VanLife thing, sitting, posing on the roof, eating my meal. Is it how VanLife works? Welcome in the carriage of this van, and the electrical system in this van is not so good. It's a little bit of a mess. I think a lot of VanLife vans are not built correctly, and this is one of them. So I need to have a connection for my composting toilet for the little van, but luckily they have here a fuse box, and there are still some spots left. So I can easily tap into that, but the negative side, yeah, that's problematic. There's no bus bar. Everything is on one terminal, and I don't want to get the bolt off that terminal because now that's just too much of an issue that things can go wrong. And yeah. The cable sizes are wrong, the fuses are on the wrong spots, the colors of the 220 volt camper side cabling is wrong. Yeah, it should need a complete rebuild. But let's see if I can tap into the system without breaking it. This is the wire that I just gonna put on one of the connections for the negative side, and the fan is super little, so I don't have a big current. So let's just tight it down here on one of the terminals. So it's not the best connection, but at least it should do and doesn't destroy anything of the current system. And now we have the other side of the wire, and I put a connector on it. So don't touch the terminals here. Let's yeah, it's also a little bit. Oh wait, if I put the connector on here, I see a light that there's no fuse, of course, because there's no fuse installed, and that is this 10 amp fuse. So can I remove this one? Okay. Now let's hope this works. The light goes off. So that's probably working. Okay. No sparks. Everything is still on. The inverter is still on. So yeah, let's check if the fan in the toilet works, and then this is successful, and then I will keep out of this area. Let's get the camera and my light. So yeah, don't do your camper electrics like this fan. It's completely wrong and should be redone with the correct cables, with the correct cable sizes, with the correct fuses, bus bars. Yeah, probably if you spend maybe 150 euros in bus bars, fuses and new cabling, this will be a very good system, but not now. The fan of my Kiltwick toilet is now on, and I modified this one with my own box on the rear, and here's the button to turn it on and off. And now I have this hose that goes outside on the roof that removes the smells. So this toilet you don't gonna smell, but now I have my own toilet here on the camping and don't need to wait for a Dixie. Good morning, this is the first morning of the expo of Abentueuer Allrad, and we are now on the camping, and there are a lot of cool vehicles here around. Like a Land Rover there with a nice box, an Emma and Kat, great neighbors. Here a T4 Synchro, also great neighbors, an Iveco, an Unimog, an Emma N. Yeah, there's so much around here, and this is only campsite 2, and you have campsite 1 and campsite 3 and campsite 4. And if you're going to walk around in 1 hour, you only see like half of campsite 2. So yeah, you can spend a lot of time here just going to see all the vehicles here. So probably tonight I'm gonna make like a big tour and show you around. And this is the little camper van, and I slept very well. I didn't even extend the bed, because if I lie sideways, because I'm not so tall, it just fits. So then I have some more room here and don't have to make the bed. And yeah, I like a fixed setup, so I made this into a fixed setup. And the kitchen is here. Gas cooker works very well. I made an omelette, and we have a water system, big sink, my own toilet. Here is the fridge, pretty big compressor fridge. So this was Abentueuer Allrad 2022. I'm now back at the camping. We packed up, this is the rental van, and the camping here, this campsite 2 is almost empty. And the show was really great. I think if you go 2 days to the show, you can see everything and take your time and talk to people and get information, and you can buy stuff. Yeah, it is a really enjoyable show. So I think I will be back next year with the Unimog. That would be great. Then I will have a much nicer expedition truck than this for transit. If you'd like to support me, you can check out my Ko-fi page or make a PayPal donation. And thanks for watching, and see you next year on Abentueuer Allrad 2022.